I've just gotten back from the beach with my children. It is the last few days of the school holidays, and so we're kind of lapping that time up. And I've just done something really funny, which you'll see soon. If you see this later, you'll have already seen it. I took a photo as a cover for this live, and I think it's very funny. So anyway, there is a question that I get asked a lot, and my view is going to be a little bit controversial. So I do talk about it. It's not like it's the only time I've brought this up, but when you go, okay, there are salon treatments, there are dermatologist or medical specialist treatments, and there are at-home treatments. A lot of people ask me about dermaplaning. So if you don't know what that is, you are essentially, the difference is if you're going to a salon or let's say a dermatologist, if you're going to a medically trained professional for dermaplaning, they will use what is like a single blade razor, and they will be shaving your face actually in the direction of the hair growth. And when they do it, it will be very close. Number one, it'll be hygienic. They'll probably use something like alcohol on your face to clean it beforehand. That does give me the heebie-jeebies. And they will be scraping your skin, removing the hair, and they will be taking off some surface layers of skin. So ordinarily, that will be a treatment. Hi, Dun, nice to see you. Wouldn't have recognized you there. They will be doing that treatment, and it can be really helpful for people who have surface level scarring, like acne scarring, or let's just say acne scarring, or just, surface layer scars. Going to a proper medically trained person. So, I've got this thing that like you can do laser after a weekend course, and I'm really not cool with that. Like, I want someone who's projecting a laser into my body to have done a bit more than a weekend course. So I really want someone who's an expert at it, because you can cause permanent damage, right? So, and we've seen lots of those things online. Well, I have anyway. It's pretty horrific what can happen to people. It takes a long time to heal, and some people never heal from it. So going to a dermatologist or a medically trained professional for dermaplaning can be something that is helpful for people who have mild acne scarring, some mild scarring on the surface of the skin. Maybe they had a treatment that wasn't great and they've got some scarring from that. And I can see that there is definitely a place for that. For people covering dermaplaning, which I know some people who have just joined want to know about, for people that are looking at doing it at home, that is a different thing. So the tool that you buy will be different. It is not as sharp. The biggest problem I have with people doing things at home like this is introduction of infection, because unless you're trained in infection control, it's not great, right? Like you can spray alcohol and things everywhere, but it's just not the same as going to a professional who's trained in doing it. And when you're doing it at home, you're really just taking off the hair. And if it's, so I keep looking this way because I'm like really trying to think about how I express it. So you're just taking off the hair, and there are much safer ways of doing that than using a blade. And I get it because I've got like bum fluff on my face too. When we get older, we can get this proliferation of face hair. Some of them are thick. I call those asshole hairs. And so I like to use a particular essential oil that helps support the hormones that help reduce that growth. But that is also somewhere that laser is good for that. If you have a lot of those, and I have used that successfully because I did have a lot of those. So rude. No one tells you this when you're like a teenager or when you're, 20s, 30s, mid 40s. My mum's not alive to tell me that she had, hairs. It's not very sexy, I can tell you. But anyway. So getting back to the dermaplaning, sorry, I'm totally off planet. So with the dermaplaning is when you do it at home, the risk of infection is high, and also you're very unlikely to actually be exfoliating your skin in that way. Maybe you'll get off a little bit of the surface. So if you're looking for dermaplaning for just removing hair removal, I would just do it differently. I would do laser, I would do even like just clippers. There are other things to do. Threading can be good. the reasons you'd want to, I'm not a massive fan of heavy exfoliation of the skin, because I know that we're taught that you have to scrub the bejesus out of everything, but I just don't think that that is the case. When you do that, you're actually lightly damaging the surface of the skin, sometimes heavily damaging the surface of the skin. And then often, and I think I went on a rant about this not that long ago on a live, then they encourage you to come back for like, you know, every monthly appointments and follow it up with this in between. And I'm like, when is your skin ever recovering from this damage that you are doing to it? So short courses of treatment, you know, I can see where that would be useful and beneficial. If you have any tendency towards pigment changes like melasma or anything, you got to be super careful what you're doing to your skin. And you really want to be going to someone who is so well trained, but usually they're not holistic. So, you know, there's a balance, and not everything has to be holistic. You know, there's space for things that are, you know, completely just 100% medical and 100% this and 100% that. So there's totally space for that as well. But in terms of the dermaplaning, so at home, my preferred thing to say to people is, if you're looking for hair removal, I would do that differently. Probably the one that is, you know, sugaring or threading or laser for hair removal. If you're looking for exfoliation, I really believe that our skin likes it better, and I've seen really good results with so many people if you just are more gentle with it. So you can do a deeper exfoliation every now and again, but then leave it alone. Let it recover, and don't just keep chipping away at that. So often when our surface of our skin is looking dull or feels textured under our fingers, that's often damage to the surface of the skin. And then we scrub it, and then we scrub it, and we scrub it some more. And I'm like, just stop scrubbing. Actually just flooding with nutrients internally and externally, and then just loving that skin, using your gua sha, which is a beautiful tool for exfoliation because we're using oil. It's just, it's bringing all that, you know, juiciness to the surface of the skin, and it helps that turnover just naturally happen. Using things like a honey mask is beautiful for exfoliation. You know, the honey cleanser that we stock is amazing. You're pressing that into the surface of the skin. That helps to, you know, pump your lymphatic system. Not pump, it's much more gentle than that. Pat your lymphatic system, because it's not, you're not like, you can imagine you're not pumping your whole face, but just doing those things in a different way. So I'm way more for gentle but regular and nothing aggressive. There's definitely space to use some natural products that help to exfoliate the skin, and because as we get older, our skin does not turn over as quickly. The length of time extends, and it can feel not as clear and luminescent, I guess, luminous. And so there is definitely space for that, and I do that myself. Watch this space. Very soon. You'll be able to do that too. But yeah, so I'm not dermaplaning, you know, I'm super cautious about anything. Same with skin needling, right? So skin needling, there is a space for skin needling. However, should you be doing it at home with one of those rollers? I've got them. I considered stocking them. But then I just thought about people using them at home, and number one, you're going to have to throw them out a lot, and people won't do that because you just want to keep it because it's, you know, costs you money, so you don't want to throw it away. Also, and then you're just like chucking more and more plastic out there into the world. And I'm like, do we really need this? And I'm like, there are a few people that really need it. So I'm not a massive fan. So that is my controversial view on dermaplaning, and a few other things thrown in around. If you do want to do it, then definitely find someone who is really, you know, I would suggest going to a dermatologist. So someone who has the expertise at using essentially a blade on your face and just really thinking about, why do I want to do this? Is it true that your face gets hairier as you get older? I don't know. I'm certainly experiencing that, and it can look better if you don't have the hair on your face. I personally wouldn't choose to use a blade to get it off. I don't think the hair grows back thicker. I think that it just feels blunt, like when you shave your legs, because it just feels blunt because instead of the end tapering off, it's like cut off bluntly. Blunt, but blunt. Said a lot. But what we want to do is just, I think, just be a little bit more cautious about what we're doing to our face. So not using a blade on our face at home and being, really, really considered about whether you would do it. And so, but you know what I'd love to know? Have you done it? Do you love it? Do you think I'm nuts for saying don't do it? Have you been thinking about it? And why have you been thinking about it? Because like, let's talk about that. Why do you want to put a blade to your face? And no judgment if you end up doing it, but just be really careful where you go. And skin needling is, I just thought I can't be responsible for selling someone a tool that they have at home that they might get a really deep infection in their skin because they haven't followed the instructions. And I hate following instructions. So I was like, this is not for me. I can't promote this to people because even though there is, I think there's space to do it from time to time, I'm like, I just wouldn't read those instructions. And so I can't sell that to people. Anyway, now you know that about me. My kids are upstairs making themselves lunch, and so I'm going to go join them. But I love coming on here and talking to you. I will see you on Friday at 1:30. Please go and look at the cover shot that I'm going to put up for this because I was still laughing when I came on about that. But I hope you have an amazing Wednesday afternoon. I'll see you on Friday. Again, if you want any topics covered, shoot me a message, put it in a comment underneath or something. Let me know what would be helpful for you. And last week of school holidays. Enjoy. Actually, Friday, I probably won't be on Friday. Maybe we can do another one tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Why don't we do it tomorrow? Who wants to ask me a question for me to cover tomorrow? Make it hard. Please. I love a challenge. All right, everyone. See you later. Bye.